You like jazz? Because if so, you should definitely subscribe to Walk the Cinema podcast. And we'll start our episode on the B movie.
So I can't believe we're doing the B movie as an episode, but...
It's a masterpiece. I don't know why you're so shocked.
I mean, I feel like it's on brand for us because we have been binging Seinfeld and then jokingly decided to watch the B movie.
It's super fun, though.
I mean, it is fun. Don't get me wrong.
Does it make sense? No, but, like, neither does anything else with talking animals.
Honestly, I feel like the biggest gripe with B movie isn't its script. I think a lot of people think it is, but I don't think in reality it's that bad.
Is it the trans-species relationship?
I feel like maybe. That's probably
I'm kind of into it.
Right. But in all seriousness, the B movie, written and voice acted by Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm pretty sure he did this as a joke, right? He was like trying to play a joke on someone, and they're like, you know what, let's do it. And he's like, okay.
I don't know. I think that might be urban legend, but I actually have no research on this. I know that I think someone approached him and was like, we want to do a movie about like an insect of some sorts. And this is the product of it. I don't think he wrote it on his own either. I think there was 2 or 3 other guys that worked on it.
It's too dense and smart for one person to write.
Right. I mean, the jokes are funny. Right?
Yeah, they land for me.
I very distinctly remember watching this at one of my friends' houses when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. And it was in her living room at like a birthday party or something. Or like a sleepover, at least.
If you get bored today, it is on Netflix. And like just put it on. Watch it. Enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
We have it on DVD. We gotta watch the extras on it.
Right. I mean, it's a fun... I don't want to say it's a fun movie for the whole family because I feel like it's really dumb in a way.
Yeah, but that's what's good about it, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. I feel like this whole episode is just kind of a joke.
It's not a joke. We're analyzing the movie. What's the deal with the B movie?
I mean, it's definitely interesting. And it starts off, Barry B. Benson graduating from B college, about to go to his...
Very deep, very intelligent.
Yeah. But, it definitely has that feel where it's like, oh, he's realizing... He's kind of having an existential crisis.
Yeah, this is like Monster Inc.
Kind of. But it's like... it has like the same similar themes that I think another typical kind of teen going into the real world for the first time, realizing that like they gotta make decisions that are gonna carry through them until the day they die,
Classic coming of age for a B.
Right. So, he's like, I'm gonna have one job until I drop dead, and they're like, of course. And all the bees laugh and stuff.
And that's real. That hit.
Yeah, it does kind of hit. Because that's kind of what happens anyway.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the perceived.
Honestly, it sounds easy to be a B. You just get it. You didn't even gotta work for it.
His friend's kind of like that, where he's really just cool with, having to make one decision in his whole life and being done, Yeah. But Barry wants something more. He wants to venture outside the hive, which he's able to. And
because he wants to be one of the cool guys.
Yeah.
One of the SWAT.
The pollinators.
Yeah. Because they're the jocks, I guess, of the B universe.
Yeah.
I've seen documentaries that have called those the jocks of the B universe.
But it's a little like, oh, we're gonna fit your narrative because all the bees you see outside are female bees.
Oh,
like
are they?
Yeah, they're the worker bees.
I should have done some bee background on this.
Yeah. All the female bees are worker bees, but
all I know about bees is that their queen is Beyonce, but besides that, I have no idea.
Stop. The jokes, the puns.
There's no puns.
I mean, the episode's not over.
Okay.
But
let's work some in then.
You know, he meets a human woman, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. And she's a HILF. A human I'd like to
befriend, yeah.
Be friendly with towards no weird species.
I definitely remember as like a 10, 11-year-old thinking this movie was really weird. Like, I thought it was, funny and good, for a child. But the parts that were like, oh yeah, I'm seeing a human, or like when he's daydreaming in the pool of honey and her plane crashes into a mountain. For some reason, those scenes like really affected me as a child.
This probably has a really interesting Rule 33.
I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, I'm not willing to look it up, but if someone is, good luck.
It's kind of upsetting that there probably is something out there like that.
There's probably a lot.
Yeah, but let's not get into that.
There's like the classic characters that get the treatment. Like Sonic and Shrek, and I feel like Barry B. Benson is part of that group.
Maybe, but I don't want to think about it. But he ends up suing humanity for all the honey stuff. And
he gets Ray Liotta. It's great.
Yeah, and
he's not a good fella.
No. But I remember, there's a joke in there where he visits the fake hive that's there for honey consumption.
Like the bee farms.
Yeah. And he's like, that's not a queen. It's a drag queen. And like that joke went way over my head when I first watched it. Because again, I was like 10 or 11.
They have some pretty bad jokes that didn't age.
No, like that one did not age well, right?
Even at the time. Like,
it's, not the
it's not the 50s.
Not the best joke, not the cleverest,
I mean, did you expect the clever? Have you seen his stand-up?
We're not here to roast him on his stand-up. He's a very successful man.
Oh, yeah.
He created the greatest television show ever.
He's the richest comedian, so I guess he has something.
Yeah, he was able to pick the minds of those people in the 80s and 90s. But anyway, Barry B. Benson, sues the human race, and we have Ray Liotta that's in it, Sting.
It kind of becomes like a tribute to Nuremberg.
Right.
The classic trial movie about World War II. And this is just a tribute to it. Some people might compare it to, again, 12 Angry Men.
Right.
Class act all around.
I just remember, like, when I was younger, not knowing I knew who Sting was, but I didn't know who Ray Liotta was, and they made him look so evil that kind of sentiment has carried with me throughout my life.
Goodfellas makes them look okay. B-movie, screw that guy.
Like, he's evil. Like, I 100% think Ray Liotta is evil based on the B-movie alone. And, like, the actor himself, As a real person. As a real person.
Deserves the worst honey ever.
And, like, obviously, Barry B. Benson, the lawyer that he is able to convince a human jury that honey should stop being sold. Like, anything that associates with honey or bees should have a cease and desist. And there's like a scene where Winnie the Pooh gets taken out with a blow dart.
Yeah.
Right? And again, as a 11-year-old, that really triggered me as well. Like, I felt sadness when they shot Winnie the Pooh. Like, it made me feel bad. Because, I didn't know what, like, stun darts were, so I just thought they straight up murdered him.
Yeah, okay.
And it didn't really feel good when I watched it, so.
I mean, there's another sad scene where, like, he becomes the representative of all animals, not just bees. And then it's kind of hypocritical, but, like, cows go in and they're like, I don't want my milk taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if we do that, the world just...
Well, I think that it does, like, an interesting job, at least, of being like, well, yeah, we're stealing their honey, or we're taking their honey, but we do need bees to, like...
Pollinize.
Pollinate the world.
And it's
Otherwise...
also, they balance out the environment. I mean, there's the save the bees stuff. Like, no one likes bees, I guess, because they make an ouchie when they sting you.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty important for the environment. And the movie kind of does that 180, where, like, it goes from, yay, we won, to, oh, the world's being destroyed because we messed with the delicate balance of nature.
Right. And,
And then it becomes a tribute to all the apocalyptic movies.
Right. Where New York is just desolate, which, has it ever been as beautiful as it was animated in the movie? Who knows? But, I don't know. The Bee movie is definitely one of those movies that really feels like a joke. Kind of like Ants. Or The Ant Bully, or Shark Tale.
But, like, those three movies are so much worse than this. Especially in entertainment or, like, making you laugh. Those don't do it. I could list more. Over the Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are all crappy stories. This one is at least, like, so stupid and funny to me.
Well, I think that Jerry Seinfeld probably wouldn't have put his name on it if he didn't at least think that it had some substance. I don't know him personally, but that's just kind of the vibe that I get from him.
I don't care about the substance. There's no substance. It's just it's a lot funnier. It's not as stereotypical as most animated movies are, because a lot of companies, DreamWorks, just think it's for kids.
Well, yeah, it's for kids, but I think that it
doesn't need to be good because it's for kids, which is bullcrap.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that even though it's for kids, I think that, like, they use topics that aren't necessary, that kids don't necessarily grasp.
Honestly, this is probably a lot better for an adult than for kids. I think this should be held alongside Sausage Party.
Right.
Rather than, like, Over the Edge. I think this is, like, as a kid, it's, like, okay, I guess. But as an adult, it's, like, so stupid and funny. I don't know. Maybe I sound, like, really idiotic, like all I watch is Sandler movies and Eddie Murphy talking to animals, but I don't. I mean, our last episodes have been like Jodorowsky and Tarkovsky and all that, and now we're talking about Barry B. Benson. He's in the same realm.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
When I think Barry B. Benson, then I think Tarantino, Tarkovsky.
I mean, Jerry Seinfeld is, like, the top of his craft,
I don't think so.
I think so. I think he's really successful. I don't particularly like his stand-up, but, like, Seinfeld was good, and I don't know. I don't think I'd like to meet him, because I've seen that video of him brushing off Kesha.
Right.
And, like, that physically pained me.
I think that the cast of Seinfeld has a lot worse videos out there. Especially Kramer.
Right. But I mean, just like the thought of being brushed off by Jerry Seinfeld would actually crush me. And I'm surprised it didn't crush Kesha, like
I mean, to be fair, it might not be a Jerry Seinfeld thing, because if Kesha tried to touch me, I'd probably run.
I just think that he didn't know who she was, and she kind of went in for the hug, and it was that kind of awkward, like, I don't know you, please don't touch me. And he probably gets that a lot anyway.
I mean, that's probably the worst part of being famous, is random people trying to touch you.
Yeah.
Not into that. Maybe COVID will fix that. Maybe the post-COVID world will have a lot less random people touching you.
I mean, I doubt it. I think there's something that happens with people where they see a celebrity And even if they don't think that they're the type that would run up and like try to get the attention of them or try to get an autograph, or they think they'll play it cool. I think there's something within everybody that if they see somebody that they know on TV or like,
No,
in real life, that
I don't buy that.
There's like something that happens.
I've seen celebrities and I never cared.
Well, aren't you fancy?
No. Why would I be fancy?
I mean,
I
I've
don't
seen
think
celebrities.
everyone would like be automatically like autograph.
Well, I mean, no, you want to play it cool, but I think that sometimes there's like a certain somebody that you probably like couldn't control yourself. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld's, one of those celebrities.
For me?
No, I don't know. Maybe not for you.
I think I'll just get very excited that he's there and be like, "Hey, look, Seinfeld." But I wouldn't approach anyone. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're the smart one. Maybe you know what I would do. You know me better than I know me.
Maybe. But, this also has a pretty deep cast, John Goodman.
Is Jason Alexander in this?
I don't think so. But
Darn.
the guy that plays Elaine's boyfriend towards the end season, he's in it. And
he's a good voice actor.
He
He's
really
good.
is. He's from The Emperor's New Groove. He's Kronk. Or Kronk's New Groove if you're really deep in the lore.
He has a great voice.
He does. And Chris Rock's in it.
Chris Rock is not a good voice actor. I think he always overdoes it. But Jerry kind of like worked out pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Martin Scorsese.
In Shark Tale?
Yeah, in Shark Tale. I mean, that's the only one he's been in.
Still to this day, I'm very confused about that one, but, go off. I don't know. I think that, Renee Zellweger is in this.
Oh, yeah. She's
Oscar winner. She plays the love interest.
She's whatever. I mean, her voice is pretty just bland overall. I guess it's a safe choice.
Yeah, I mean...
We're criticizing voice actors now.
True.
No one really buzzes around. Huge disappointment.
I mean, there is that joke where, they're waiting for Barry to speak at the trial, and he does the bzz, 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 bzz. I'm just joking.
Is there a Buzz Aldrin joke in this? Probably. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Probably one. Low-hanging fruit.
But yeah, like they have Oprah Winfrey's the judge. Like they got some, interesting people. Michael Richards is in this. He is in this.
Is this pre-accident at the comedy club or?
I think it's post.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Spicy.
I don't know when the comedy.
That was a bad one.
Incident happened. Like what year that was.
If you haven't seen that, look it up. It's really bad. Actually, don't look it up. It's not fun at all.
It's probably not fun. But I do appreciate the Larry King kind of joke in there where it's B Larry King, where it's the B version of Larry King. And Barry B. Benson is like the humans also have a Larry King, and he's like, it's a common name, and he's like, no, but he's also Jewish and has a TV show
suspenders.
and suspenders and all that stuff. Like it's the same thing. Like that, I appreciate that joke.
I think it's the second best moment between Larry King and Seinfeld. When Seinfeld just ripped him a new one, that was the best one in my opinion.
Right.
Not in the movie.
No.
They didn't work that in there.
No. But it's definitely one of those movies that, is it worth watching? It's really up to you.
It is. Shut up. It's worth watching. It's a hot mess sometimes. But I think that it is genuinely funny other times.
Well, I mean, it's also a big meme thing, where the joke was a few years ago.
I think a lot of people just have this pre-concept that it's a bad movie because of the jokes.
Well, yeah.
And it is.
They posted the whole, script.
Yeah.
Online or something.
And even,
in a comment.
Even the name, B-movie. Right?
Mm-hmm.
B-movie is normally a movie that has less money and it's not distributed by a big company, and most of them are worse. than a more expensive movie, but not all of them. But yeah, I think a lot of people should watch this instead of just immediately thinking that it's bad and not worth your time.
I mean, it's bad, but it's just like
it's bad in a good way.
It's
really
a fun
is.
bad, where you're not gonna. I don't know. It's definitely one of those movies that you can put on while you're doing something else. Like, I played The Sims while I watched it, and still had a good time. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, one of those things that, like, you don't need a lot of brain power to watch this, and sometimes that's all you really need.
Yeah, and they didn't put a lot of brain power into making this. I don't know, I genuinely do enjoy it, though. I do think it's a lot of fun.
It is fun.
And do you notice all the mistakes? Yes, immediately. But doesn't matter. Don't think about it.
Yeah. I do think that they regret a little bit about, like, the sexual tension that...
That's the best part.
that
I would hamp it up to 11.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. It's already, like, uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. I'm pretty comfortable, actually.
I was uncomfortable as a child, and it didn't get any better as an adult.
You raise the room temperature, I feel. I feel like the tension leaps off the screen. And attaches itself to you like pollen to a bee.
Right. Well, what did you give this movie?
I guess a 7. I mean, there's no real ranking to this.
I mean, I give it a 6 because, I think it's just... It's not good enough, I think, for me to consider it, like, an exceptional animated movie. It's just kind of a whatever movie, a whatever animated movie. It's funny, and I think it's, it doesn't deserve lower, but I can't say that it deserves higher either.
I see why people hate this. It's bad. It's illogical. There's a lot of mistakes. It clearly doesn't have a lot of care put into it.
Right.
They were more concerned about the jokes, and so am I, so I liked it.
But I think that's all for now on this episode.
Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, comment, give a review. I mean, whatever you want to do or don't want to do. And we'll see you next week with hopefully a better movie.